Hello, my friends of the realm. Welcome to a brand new week at Realm News. I am your host, the Dark Lord. The one who puts the real in realm and expands your mind one block at a time. Today marks multiple firsts for Realm News. This is the premier Realm News Roundtable, a Minecraft discussion. Not only that, but it is the first time that we have had 4 guests on the show at once. But not only are these people guests, but they are repeat Realm News analysts who have been on the show multiple times. I consider each of these people to be a Minecraft mastermind because of their proven knowledge of the world's most popular video game to have ever existed on planet Earth, Minecraft. Today, at the round table, we have MichaelTBH from the United Kingdom.
Like the game since that year has passed has changed dramatically. I'd say. In some cases better, in some cases worse.
Then we have Jack, who also hails from the United Kingdom.
I have been wanting the Copper Golem. I voted for the Copper Golem. I wanted the Copper Golem. Ecstatic. It's going to be good. It's going to be great.
Next, we have King Nex from America.
The Isolager comes from Dungeons, and the Snowy DLCs, I think it's called Frozen Peaks. Oh, it's Creeping Winter is what it is.
Then after Nex, we have Nightstake, who is also from the United States.
So considering we don't really see any ties between the zombies and the mushrooms, I wouldn't say that they're tied to either of the 2 mushrooms that we see in the overworld.
If you've been following the show, then you know how savvy these 4 panelists are. They each demonstrate their own unique skills and knowledge when it comes to Minecraft, and this is the first time in history that any of these guys have met each other. It is going to be an amazing show, and I can't wait to pick their brains on the upcoming fall drop, Minecraft Fall Live event, future speculation, expectations, and so much more. Without further ado, let's start the show. Hello. First off, I would like to welcome you, the audience, to Realm News' premier roundtable event. Apologies first for the cold. I have nose cold, and so I just want to say sorry for that. Every once in a while you'll hear that in my voice. And I want to also explain that we are missing 2 of the panelists for today's show. MichaelTBH and Jack will not be attending. It does not look like this show. Anyways, we have an amazing group of panelists still here today, and I would like to go around and let you all introduce yourselves. Let's start with you, Nex. Welcome back to the show. It's always a pleasure to have you on. How have you been, man?
I've been good. Thank you. Thank you for having me on again.
Yeah, no, I'm really happy to have you back. And then we have museum owner on the world's oldest Minecraft SMP server, Nightstake. Welcome back to the show, man. How you been? We just talked fungi.
Yeah, no, that was fun just last week, actually. And I've never been better. I mean, I'm really excited to get on and be doing this.
No, yeah, same. Honestly, guys, it's an honor to have you all back on the show, truly. Today, I am essentially going to be acting as the moderator. I'm going to be jumping a little bit more, but I will ask a question, and then we will go around the room. No worries about crosstalk. I want this to be engaging, so talk away if so desired. I may jump in to move us along if we get stuck on something, that just goes on too long. But with that said, are you all ready to start the show?
All set.
Yes, sir.
Cool. Okay, I would like to start off by saying Realm News is backing KMB's prediction of it being on Saturday, September 30th, the Minecraft Fall Live event. When do you guys think that the Fall Live event will occur? I want to start with you next. Do you have a prediction on when we're going to finally hear when that's going to happen?
I feel like it is the 13th or the 20th is what I'm going with.
Really, 13th or the 20th? Okay.
Yeah, they're both Saturdays.
So mid-month.
I think
that's
more
coming
so.
up.
Yeah, I think more so the 20th.
More so the 20th. Okay.
Yeah.
No, that's a good prediction. Just something you feel.
Yeah, I mean, I don't see. I mean, it could happen on a Tuesday, but I really don't see the event being on a Tuesday because me personally, I'm probably not watching at 1 p.m. on a Tuesday.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to have it on a weekday, honestly. I think it's going to be on a Saturday. But that's my feeling. What do you think, Nightsteak?
Oh yeah. I mean, I haven't really been keeping track of like when these have been announced and like what specific days they've been. But I mean, like especially since like school's probably started for a lot of people now, and I doubt that they'd be wanting to like release this big new drop when like half the kids that play Minecraft are going to be in school during that day. So I think considering that like especially Bedrock is like catering to like a majority like kids audience, I think that yeah, it's almost definite that'd be happening on some sort of weekend or Friday.
Or a Friday. Okay. Have we had them on a Friday before?
Honestly, can't remember.
I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not sure either. I'm trying to remember. Since I've been doing the show Realm News, we haven't had one on a Saturday, and I'm trying to remember like all the wikis I've read. I don't I don't think I recall them having them on like a Friday, but maybe I'm wrong.
What have they been on Sundays?
Uh, I don't know if they've even been on Sunday. Have they? Do you know Nightsteak?
Can't say I
I thought
do.
the
I mean,
events were always on weekends. Hold on.
I don't think there's too big of a pattern though, because I mean, like I remember a couple months ago seeing on Reddit that there still was like a ton of speculation for when the spring drop was going to be announced. So I feel like this stuff, it's like we have like a basic idea of when it's going to be, but we don't know the exact date, and they do that intentionally just in case. Like maybe they still have to be working on something, or maybe they couldn't get like the venue or whatever. So there could just be some sort of issues or whatever. So they don't really announce this stuff or like have a specific set date, just in case they have to change things or swap something out last second. At least that's what I'd figure.
That makes a lot of sense now that you say that. I do have
Yeah, the
another.
last two were on Saturdays.
Were they? Yeah, I thought so. What,
Yeah,
September 28th last year, and then the one before
March
that.
22nd was
Yeah, the spring, right?
the quarter one drop or the live. Yeah,
Gotcha. And then September 28th was Saturday, and then the one before that would have been Tricky Trials, right?
yeah.
Which
I don't know when that was. When we look it up.
I think that was on a Saturday. I can't quite recall. So going around the room
October
here, I want to start with
15th.
Nightsteak.
Oops.
What's the chief thing that you are looking for in this upcoming Minecraft fall live event that we're all expecting? Next thinks it's going to be in middle September the 20th. I'm guessing I'm back in KMB's on the 30th, but what are you expecting to see from this?
I mean, I'd imagine it would be in late September. And also, I mean, this is still speculative, but I mean, considering the leaks that we've seen over the past few months, and considering that we haven't really seen these leaks earlier in previous years, I feel like the Minecraft Dungeons 2 announcement is going to be happening this year and most likely in quarter three. So we probably would be seeing it, if any time at some point in the next few months. So I figure that maybe like while they're officially releasing this drop, they'll also announce that as like a side thing. But once again, it's just speculation.
Do you agree with that assessment, Next?
I really hope Minecraft Dungeons 2 is announced alive.
What do you feel?
I don't know, cause like I don't really know. I mean, I've seen the screenshots, like probably everybody else has, and it looks like pretty far along, but like there's nothing confirming its existence on Mojang's end. So for all they can care, they could wait another year or two before releasing this game if they need it. I know it's projected to be 2026. I honestly really don't know where that date came from, but I could see it being like the spring live for next year,
Didn't
to
we
be honest.
receive a timeline that was leaked that wasn't not like
Is that where
verified?
that date came from? Is that
I,
roadmap thing?
that's what I'm trying to recall. Was it?
It
I
was
think that was a 3-year plan, wasn't it?
there was a lot of fake leaks, and
A lot.
I believe I think of the one. I believe I remember the one you're talking about, where it shows the different quarters and the different
Yeah.
plans and drops. Yeah, I mean, I remember even a few months ago, like right after it came out, like it was already inaccurate on the stuff it was saying. Like it got like maybe a couple things right, just like, and that was just educated guesses, most likely. So I don't think that holds any
Right.
ground. I've also seen a lot of other like clearly fake stuff floating around.
And I'll stick by this, guys. I don't think it'll ever be announced at an Xbox event because I think that would be very just exclusive to all the other devices that Minecraft's played on. I've made an episode over that. I just don't see it ever being announced there. I only see it being announced in Mojang's house. You know what I mean? So I honestly feel that it will be announced at this Minecraft Fall Live event. I just have a feeling about it. I'm not sure though. I guess it just depends on how far along they are. I also thought there'd be more herd back in the Annecy festival that Netflix was part of in France when they talked about the Minecraft Netflix series, and all they had were still images. It was still in the creative process. It wasn't even that far developed, and that was a year after their first teaser. So I don't know. I
Why they
think it's
tease it that
interesting.
early if that doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah,
But
you would think
oh
you would
well.
start teasing something if you had more developed, in my opinion, instead of wait years, like do it
Right.
years in advance. That just, I don't know. That just seems a little bit odd to me. But, yeah, I'm not sure. Hopefully we hear something about this dungeons thing, but it's all speculation right now. Everything's speculation, but that's the fun of it. So
Right. Yeah.
I did want to ask this, guys. How have you been enjoying the past couple Minecraft lives? How do you like them?
I mean,
You
well,
want to go
these are
first?
actually the
Okay.
first ones. Yeah, these are actually the first ones that I've watched myself. A lot of times, it's just I'd be interested in what they were revealing, but I just didn't have the attention span to actually sit through them. But for the past couple, I've been watching them, and I mean, I think they're interesting. I feel like they drag on a little longer than they should, but and there's just a lot of like what's clearly filler and just meant there to kill time. But outside of that, I mean, I do think that they're pretty entertaining, and I probably will keep watching them from now on.
What do you think next?
Um, I like them. I enjoy them. I do like that they're more straight to the point and not as much like, brand deal stuff, and it's more focused on, the actual game. Because, I mean, I like Minecraft as a whole, but like, I really don't want to listen to 15 minutes of like Minecraft bath bombs or marketplace stuff or stuff like that. Like, I care less. I just want my updates, and if you're working on anything else, it's cool. Let's see it. And then obviously any spin-offs, I'm always open to that. But yeah, the only thing is like my excitement is like a little lowered now with the drops because like before we were expecting these huge major overhaul updates, and now it's just like, okay, what 5 features are we gonna see in the next couple of months?
Yeah. Um, no, it's interesting to hear. So, do you enjoy the pre-show at all, or do you just want to jump right into the features they're going to announce for the game? And this is directed towards you next. You just want pretty
Um,
much the meat of it, not all that fluff and the promotional stuff.
yeah, I like the meat. Um, not really there for like, the little appetizers. I mean, like I watch them every time. I usually say I'm not going to, but then I end up watching them anyway. It's like kind of funny sometimes.
How many years? How many years have you been watching them?
I think I've been watching them pretty consistently since the aquatic update was announced.
Oh wow.
Gosh, how long has that been?
Oh shoot, like 2018 maybe 17. I don't know.
Okay, gotcha. No, so you've been watching them quite a while. I really love
Yeah.
that they're like animation shorts that they've been doing. You know, um, I enjoy watching those. What do you think of the pre show that usually I think lasts 15 minutes that leads up to the actual Minecraft live event? Do you enjoy seeing all the that's where they typically present people or Minecraft content creators and their biggest fans from around the world. Does that captivate you guys? Do you enjoy that part? I'll start with you, Nightsteak.
For me, not personally, just because like, and this is just like more of an opinion thing, but I don't really enjoy watching people play games. I mean, even like from when I was like younger, like during like the PewDiePie days, like where everyone was streaming, I just never understood like why people would be like watching someone else play a game when they could play it themselves. So it's like I obviously like there is some appeal. There clearly is some appeal because these streamers are, a lot of them are like multimillionaires, but it's just never really been my thing. So it's like it's interesting. I'm glad that like they're interacting with their community and like bringing these people on, like knowing that that's going to get them more traction. And like it's I don't know. I think it's nice. It's just like not really my thing.
No, I can agree with you on a lot of those aspects. I never really got into watching people play, but I think it's cool that Minecraft does highlight some of their like top fans and their biggest creators. I think that's kind of cool that they do that for their community. What do you think, Max?
I think it's cool. Yeah, if you like, so there's a couple of YouTubers I do actually watch still. So it's cool like when they are in the pre-shoot or pre-show, sorry.
Who are they, if I may ask?
Some of the YouTubers I watch,
Yeah.
I watch like Waddles and like IBX Toy Cat mainly.
I watched Waddles
like,
too and IBX.
I think I might have mentioned it to you the last time I was on the show, but I literally just watch like news videos for features or like leaks, and
Yeah,
then
same.
I really enjoy like their speculative content as well.
I do. I enjoy like Randy Bishop, who's been on the show, watching like those type builds, and people like just like really get into those really intricate builds are interesting to me. So no, I do enjoy watching some of them. I just don't watch typically people playing, live. But
Yeah.
I do like watching Waddles and for the news. Like they do a great
I
job.
watch people talk
presenting it.
about Minecraft all day, but yeah, I don't really watch people play the game, to be
Hopefully you're
honest.
listening to Realm News all day. And
Right.
so what are your favorite aspects of the Minecraft live events?
Well, obviously, I like the vanilla stuff, so I do like the little recaps they do, like with the now previous drop and previously the previous major update, where they'll have like a little segment going over some of the more highlight features, but then also like have some of the developers like talk about it because I do like listening to developers talk about features they personally worked on and like their thought process with that as well because that's cool in my opinion. Like I like it, but obviously I like most of us am there for the new stuff. That's probably without a doubt my biggest thing about it. I like speculating about it and then like seeing the announcements and then just being excited for like snapshots to come out where I can like, play with them myself or see whatever it is that they added.
I agree. And you have a whole world. Did you just start a world for all the new snapshots that you test out? Next.
I previously did. I haven't, that was my Java realm. I haven't been playing that.
Gotcha. And what do you think, Nightsteak?
I mean, this isn't honestly talked about a lot, but the set designs, like the physical set designs for every single Minecraft live show, have been amazing. Like, it's clear that like the
True.
people that like that whoever designing this, like they put a lot of thought and effort into it. Sometimes they have like something like a working lever, and then they flip the lever, and then it like does something or other, like, or it just like transitions into the next part of the show. And I don't know. I think set pieces like that for something that's like no longer than like maybe 20 minutes at most. I don't know. I think that's pretty cool. And it's, yeah, like I said, it's clear they put a lot of effort into it. And I've always thought that's one of the more interesting parts of the shows, just seeing what's in the background.
I'm glad you pointed that out because that's a great take. They do an amazing job with the set design. You are absolutely correct. They almost put on like a theatrical type of performance sometimes in those shows. Heck, they've had some very popular people on the show. I remember seeing, I can't remember what I was reporting on, but this was years and years ago. I don't think it was the aquatic update, but Will Arnett was on there as the host. I was like, what is going on here? I love that dude. Okay, so let's move on here, and I'll ask you, Nightstake. Do you enjoy that they're doing 2 live shows a year? What do you guys think of the new drop system that replaced the old update format? Yay or nay?
Honestly, I like it a lot more because when we're playing Minecraft, I mean, like anyone that's listening to the show, they're not going to be listening to it like with no knowledge of the game. Like they're going to be someone that's played the game in the past and like someone that knows the basic mechanics and everything, and they want to hear more. But you got to think of the game like from someone that's like never played it before. And I mean, imagine from the perspective of like a little kid that's like trying to get into survival the first time. If there's a million different features that are thrown at him like right at once, that like, and obviously a lot of this stuff like you have to have like other tools to access and you have to like mine for it. But a lot of the stuff is just like random like stuff which. Like I think copper ore generates like close to the surface. I mean,
Yeah.
and there's still like even though there's a lot of cool stuff you can do with it, it's still not all that practical. Like, I just feel like there's a lot of those like useless items that like just could like make the game feel like bloated or unappealing to new players. And I think that like by doing smaller updates and by doing it like this, where it's just like adding maybe 5 or 6 new things at a time, that makes it a little more easier to process and it makes it easier to learn those things. Because instead of having to learn like every single aspect of the aquatic update, for example, in which there's like so much stuff they added, you only have to learn about the happy ghast or like the copper chest and everything. It's a lot less to figure out. And like if you have to start everything from scratch and learn everything from scratch, I feel like that would be like a lot less harder to pick up, you know?
No, I agree with you, and I never thought about in that aspect of it being like you get an ample amount. You get a, how do I want to say it? It's not an overwhelming amount that you get all at once, right? It's something that for newer players, something that you can acquire easier, I suppose. What do you think, Next?
I'm gonna piggyback a little bit off of what he said. Um, I do think for the longevity of the game, like drops are a far superior system.
How
Um,
so?
well, just if you look at the major overhaul updates, it's like they all focus on overhauling an outdated system. No matter what they did, like say Caves and Cliffs went smoothly, never got split, but came out as intended. No matter what, it would have ran out of things to overhaul, right? And then would have had to transition to adding just new things. So I think adding new things or having a combination of quality of life and then just maybe updating some older systems in drops is better for the longevity, especially if they do plan on having updates for the next 50 years, which is insane. um,
Yeah.
but yeah, if you think about it like that, it's like, yeah, drops are far superior. You can focus on more things in the span of 1 year. Whereas if you did spend the whole year just working on the ocean, for example, nothing else would have been touched. So I like drops in that aspect where it's like we're getting more throughout the year as opposed to like June or July, we get like a huge crap ton of features. But even with a major update, the last couple that we had gotten, June would come around and it would be November, and I'm like, I want new features, but we're like 7 months away still from more features. Um, Now, I still don't think the drop system's perfect because I do still think there's plenty of systems that need major overhauls, like the end, which I won't get into too much right now. But um, I think it could be good if we knew roughly how often major updates would come out still.
Can you explain a little bit on that? Elaborate.
So, like, all the drop features, I'm not hating on the drop features. I do like a lot of them. I would say I like most of them. But, you know, as of now, we haven't gotten a drop that adds more than one mob at a time, or a structure, or overhauls like a major aspect of a game, right? Or of the game, not update game, sorry. um, and I feel like some of those things like structures, and this has been my thought since day one, I feel like structures are going to be locked behind major updates. Like I don't ever see us getting a structure in a drop. Like, and that's just my opinion. I was surprised when we got the Pale Garden in a drop, But again, as of now, it's been the only buy-in we've gotten. So basically what I'm trying to get at is the features and drops are like small things. They're all nice things, but a lot of them are either quality of life things or just teeny little things that like aren't super full of substance. Not saying that they're bad features, because again, I like all the features. But a major update is what adds things that are like these core, huge, exciting things to do, or, revamp old things. And say we go 3 years without a major update, that's going to be 3 years of like quality of life features / small features, as opposed to getting one huge thing each year. I think drops would be really good if we got a major update every 2 years. Yeah. Still.
Nightsteak, would you like to respond to that?
I'm sorry, I just completely zoned out.
No, you're fine.
I'd like to skip this one.
No, I gotcha. I would almost argue though next that would you consider that this copper, and I'm going to be asking more questions about this here shortly, but do you think that copper could be considered almost a pretty big update? I mean, that was a pretty big overhaul. They added a whole
There's
copper
a lot
age.
of stuff. Yeah. The tie-in on the name was funny. I do like the name.
No, the name's great. I wasn't trying to be be critical of the name when I said it. I was like, not the most creative, but very fitting is what I said.
Right.
But the Copper Age, I feel, did a lot. To me, that was something that my brother and I have been complaining about for years and years and years. And they added in the armor, the weapons, the tools, the horse armor, shelves. We're going to be talking about all that here in a bit. But I just want to say, and also in the course of this year, we got the happy gas, the leash mechanics were what do I want to say, fixed or improved upon. And then we got variations in animals, like the cow, pig, chicken, then the firefly bush and all of that. We got dried bush, ambient sounds. I think we've received quite a bit through the drop system this year, like more so than
I'm not
just in a singular
saying
drop.
that we got that we're getting less features, because I think they're either about the same or, in some aspects you could argue, depending on the update you compare it to, you could argue that we're getting more things from drops, at least this year in particular. But it's like the substance of features that are being added. Because
Gotcha.
So copper is a good example, because copper, when you add something copper, you immediately get 7 other versions of that one item, because you have the 4 oxidation states and then the 4 wax versions of the oxidation states. So Tricky Trials itself added 5 copper blocks, and then I'll say I always count at least the oxidation stages. I never count the wax versions, because that to me is just no, I'm not counting that toward the feature count. But I'm just saying copper itself inflates the feature cap, because one item is usually split to 4 to 8 of that because of all the states of oxidation. So yeah, on paper we got a crap ton of features, but it really comes down to copper armor and tools, and then the lanterns and chains, I believe, and bars, and then the golem, and shelves, obviously. And I think as far as games drops go, this is probably one of the ones I'm more excited for, because the Copper Golem, who doesn't like the Copper Golem? And just the possibility of them, or just the thought of them coming back to a mob vote is exciting, even if it's not another year until we see another one added. But the fact that they did actually come back to one is nice, especially one that was so popular. But more back to my point, I'm just saying we could have 1.5 million little features. Say they have drops and we get a bunch of new blocks and a bunch of new plants. We're still not getting huge things like structures, is what I'm getting at. Structures that have...
Yeah.
Go ahead, sorry.
No, I didn't mean to interrupt you. No, continue on. Sorry.
Oh, okay. It's just structures aren't added, and maybe I just sound like I want a structure, and who knows? Maybe Mojang is just gonna be like, all right, here, have your damn structure, and
But you
give
have
us a structure in the next drop.
But you
But
truly feel that with this drop system that they won't give us a structure?
I'm like, I mean, again, I could be wrong, but I'm pretty confident that structures are going to be locked behind major updates.
And do you think these major updates, to me, I think they're going to probably give us a major update soon. Like, not an update, but I think like part of a drop system. I think it's, I think they're always going to be calling them drops, but I feel like they're going to throw something in that's going to be pretty big, in one of their drops. Like you said, they gave us the Pill Garden biome. I think we'll be getting some other biomes, and those can include structures, or maybe they will incorporate structures, like add to pre-existing biomes,
Right, that'd be great.
to make it more
I just
immersive.
think because everybody I found this conversation with, like on Twitter, I think I have like a different viewpoint of it than everybody else. But in my head, there are things that only a major update would add, and it's kind of backed up by the features we have been given in drops, where I don't think certain things would be added in a drop. And again, they're locked behind major updates, in my opinion. But then also the substance. So, say a drop does add a structure, it's a drop still. It's only going to be the structure. And then who knows, maybe the consequence of adding a structure is the next two drops are very small, like bundles of bravery size or something.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I mean, you just have to think about it. Like the last four structures we've gotten, maybe not the Trail Ruins, are these huge things. Like I don't see a trial chamber size structure ever being added in a drop.
No?
Like that's major update stuff. That's like in my head, that's locked behind major updates. That's never coming to a drop. And I could be wrong, but I don't think so.
I don't know. I feel that they could introduce major structures in the drop system. Heck, I think they could even announce an entire new dimension if they wanted to.
In a drop?
Yeah, I think they could. I think they can incorporate that into a drop. It's just, I don't think it'd be called update. It would be, I think it's just it just boils down to terminology, essentially. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure.
What do you think, Nice Steak, on all this?
Honestly, this newer system with the drops is pretty new. I mean, it just came out within the last year or so, right? So
yeah, came out. It was announced September 28th last year.
And while we could have like maybe gotten like some sort of floating structure for the Happy Gas, and that would have been pretty cool, like maybe like a hot air balloon or like some floating island or something. Maybe it's just like they felt like it wasn't, or these updates haven't been properly suited for a structure. Now I definitely see Nexus' point about how like they'd be saving it for bigger updates. Like I can definitely see like when the end finally gets expanded, they're most likely going to be adding like something or other to make it look like a little less barren. Maybe it's out on the further islands or something, or maybe they're just adding foliage. That wouldn't be a structure, but like I still do feel like structures are planned and they could be in the smaller drops. It's just we haven't seen enough of them to know for sure like what these smaller drops like, what they will always entail, like what the parameters will be for them.
Very true.
And that's a fair point. Like it is new, and I think we're just crossing the like 1 year mark of the implementation of them. Sorry. And yeah, I mean, like I said, I could be wrong. It's too new for me to say for certain. But my feeling is that, there are things that would be locked behind major updates and drops just wouldn't touch because, just the workload that would come with it. Because I can't imagine a smaller team working on just like a structure just for a drop. Like I feel like that would have to be. And then also just the way structures are added, they always almost tie in with like whatever major update they're in. Not saying they couldn't just casually add like a log cabin to the mountain and just say, hey, a little farmer boy drop or something. I don't know.
Or add an isologer.
Oh, please. um,
Yeah.
but it's just like, again, it's just we have the drops that we have currently to go off of, and if that's anything to go off of, which again could change because they could just roll out a humongous drop by the end of the year, but just based on what we have been getting, I feel like there are certain things that are no, and there's some things that are just like, this is a drop. We're only adding so many features. We're not going to like fully flesh out this idea. Whereas a major update would flesh out or would try to flesh out as much of one area as possible because it wouldn't be touched for a while afterwards. So they would just do what they were wanting to do and then be good for like 5 years.
Okay. Well, no, that's all good points. I do have a question that's a kind of unusual one, but Mojang or Minecraft, however you want to call them, they're pretty prevalent. They're quite prevalent on Twitter, YouTube, WhatsApp, TikTok. The list goes on and on. They just have many social media presences. I wonder, how would you like to see what would you how would you like to see them engage us, we the players online? Because we know that they like to be cryptic sometimes with their promotions. I think they do this to increase the hype and keep engagement high. And I personally don't mind that they do these little cryptic teasers. We have also had mini leaks, and then we get some tweets and posts that seem to be a clue, but end up being something just nonsensical or funny. And what do you think of that? Starting with you, let's go with you, Nightstake, and then you next. How would you like to see them communicate with us? Because we've seen a lot of leaks and blah, blah, blah. Do you think they do an effective job
Honestly,
marketing and stuff?
I don't mind the cryptic marketing, and I've noticed like myself that they have been leaning into it a lot in the past, at least in the past few months, but maybe even so in the past couple of years. Honestly, this past few years have just like all like sort of been blurred into one for me, so I can't remember like when some stuff happened and when stuff didn't happen. But I feel like they've been doing this for some time now, and I mean, I do think it's fun. It's like it is clearly to drive engagement, but it's also clear that it's working. So it's like, I mean, if they got something that's working for them and it's not bothering the player base, I mean, why not go for it? I'm sure there's some people that like it, but personally, I just don't mind it too much either way. I just think they're fun.
What do you think, Nex?
I'm similar with that. I think there's things where there's too many people managing their accounts, and like somebody, say just marketing team, just posts a silly haha, and like some of us, Michael, read too much into it.
1 second. Let me pause you there. Jack just joined us.
Hello.
Welcome, Jack.
Hello. Are we? Is it started?
Yeah, we're about 30 minutes into the show, but welcome,
Okay.
my friend.
Hello.
Welcome in.
Hello. I have just been driving for about 2 hours. I thought it started at 3 p.m. my time. I'm so sorry. I'm here. Hello.
Oh, gosh. I probably got the times all messed up.
Hello, everyone.
Sorry about that.
Good to be speaking with you.
Welcome. Let me, we are still talking about, where was I actually? I asked about how they like, well, let me just repeat the question. How would you like to ideally see Mojang or Minecraft communicate with the Minecraft community? They have many social media presences such as Twitter, YouTube, WhatsApp, TikTok. How would you like to see them engage with us, the players online? And I said that they can be cryptic sometimes with their promotions. I think they do this to increase the hype and keep engagement high. And I personally don't mind that they do these little cryptic teasers. And we have also had many leaks in the past, and then we get some tweets and posts that seem to be a clue, but end up just being something just nonsensical or funny. What do you think of all that, Jack?
For me, it's a mixed bag. You start off with fantastic teasers like earlier in the year with the Chase the Skies drop. We had fantastic teasers with, I believe it was like a car with do they need a lift? And then the day after, they announced the the lead overhaul with Happy Ghast integration. Recently, the Copper teasers, phenomenal. I can't bash them, but at the same time, earlier in the year, we saw the Hello Kitty incident where they were using the WhatsApp channel to promote something weeks. I can't remember if it was weeks or days after promoting the Spring to Life drop. I feel like they're a little bit inconsistent, but subsequently they can't tell us everything. They can't tell us their 3-year roadmap, which I can appreciate, but a little bit of common sense for me would be appreciated from the devs. Not saying they don't have that at all, but the communication with the Copper drop, I think, has been great, and the Chase the Skies drop. They let us know when things were feature complete. So, especially on the Java side, we had the end flashes and the interaction between the Iron Golems and the Copper Golems, and it was great. They told us it was feature complete. So I'm not sat there twiddling my thumbs expecting more. And yeah, it's a mixed bag. I'd say if we wanted full transparency, it'd be nice for some of the developers to be able to speak more freely, like Ulraf has been. It'd be fantastic to get more of an insight, but a man can only wish.
And we'll be talking about Ulraf here in a bit. Would anybody like to respond to Jack's statement there? Nightstick next.
I mean, honestly, actually, can you get back to me?
Yeah, no worries. Next, do you have anything that you would like to reply, or?
That's kind of what I was getting at, is I do think it's other people managing the account where, sometimes the leaks that have been leaks, or not leaks, the teasers, sorry, that have been teasers have been really good. But there also is whatever it is, the marketing team or whatever that posts their post that come off the wrong way, or I think it's a matter of kind of what he said, common sense, but more so just timing awareness. If you post something that's supposed to be just a teaser to a DLC or just something as a joke, and you do it on the day before Snapchat Day, where everybody else is expecting teasers for a snapshot or something. I mean, you're throwing yourself in the deep end doing that, in my opinion. So just more awareness, between their teams, for what they're posting, I think would be good. But I do like that they have been teasing things, and I think they have to, because they don't have their huge event where they would talk about the one thing they were going to work on for the year. They have multiple things now, the drops, and the little teasers that they drive a lot of publicity, and it starts a lot of conversations and gets a lot of traction going. So it works.
I agree with that.
All
Now,
right,
guys,
I just remember what I was going to say, just to piggyback off something Jack said earlier real quick. He said that, he wasn't expecting more from the update. And I mean, they said as much, they wrapped it up and everything. And obviously, realistically, nothing else is going to happen. But before this update had concluded and before they'd finished all this, I was definitely expecting more from them. I feel like there was a lot of very basic functions for Copper that could have been implemented and weren't. I mean, for example, the Copper Horns just feels like such a no-brainer for this update. I mean, for those that aren't aware of what they are, it was a set of, I believe, 8 different goat horns with a separate texture. And it would be crafted with by putting a horn together with copper, and then these would make different melodies and stuff like that. They'd be a lot more tuned, and they sound a lot nicer than the standard goat horns, which just play a bellow of one specific sound or another. This other one was more like a melody, almost like a flute or something that played a pre-recorded sound. And I thought those were a really cool feature. They were only seen in a Bedrock preview and then removed a few previews later, so they never actually got to see a full release in any version of Bedrock or Java. But if they did, this would have been the update to do that, and it really is a no-brainer for adding them. There's other stuff too. Also, I believe that obviously the copper grates, people have been saying this forever. Water and liquid should be able to pass through copper grates. I mean, it makes sense, and it would actually make that block useful compared to other blocks, to give it a specialty. And
I like the idea of water being able to pass through copper grates. Going back to what Nightstake is mentioning, the copper horn, and I know it didn't fit in with their design goals. I thought it was brilliant. You look at the live series in Hermitcraft when the goat horns got introduced. Imagine what them guys could do with, you give them a bit and they, you can give them a dash and they take it a mile. And going on for the copper grades, I think a functionality that we need is partial waterlogging. So I believe Bedrock players have this. As a poor Java player, we do not. Hey, we have offhand. If Michael was here, he could shout at me, but we have offhand. But what I believe you guys have is the ability to have some items be partially waterlogged. So I believe Drip Leaf is one, if I'm not mistaken. I'm not too sure, but it's like some of your items can have flowing water go through them with, whereas other items can only be fully waterlogged. I think bring that into parity, and then we can have things like that great functionality. And like Nightstake saying, it makes so much sense. It's a clear win.
One other thing that hasn't been talked about, or at least I haven't seen talked about since like the initial release of Copper, is a function where, right now when a Copper, what do you call them, the conduit thing that like the lightning hits.
Oh, the lightning rod.
Lightning rod, yeah. So lightning rods, they when they're hit, they give like a full powered redstone signal. But the thing is, it only stops at that rod. I mean, you can extend it with redstone, but I feel like, copper, it's a metal, and metal is conductive. I feel like if you would continue that, and like you have copper blocks like under it and connected to it. Also, by the way, there's some sort of spammer in the chat. But if you have like metal connected to it, like copper, specifically copper, I feel like that could be a cool thing. Like it could like pretty much act as like a conduit for redstone, and also like maybe like shock people or do like electricity damage if you step on the active copper blocks. So that could maybe create a cool system too, where like maybe the way that they're the way it's differentiated is like, I don't know. Actually, one thing that's already built into the game is the enchantment glow on items. You can actually change the color of that. So maybe if it had like a blue enchantment glow, so it showed that there was something different about these ones and that you should avoid them.
Yeah,
I don't know. I feel like that could be a cool feature.
That would be I don't understand why Mojang haven't taken advantage of the enchantment glint. It seems like a clear win, but I don't know. That's just, there's so much low hanging fruit. And I don't mean to bash Mojang. I feel like there is so much low-hanging fruit for them to capitalize on easy wins. I feel like and I appreciate it takes time and money and effort to do anything, because, from the chicken jockey music disc, which is, in my opinion, an abomination, to all the way over to, all of the copper changes, which, might I add, in me and Realm News, me and the Dark Lord, I predicted one of my wishes was to have copper chains, copper bars.
Yes.
And oh my God, I could not believe Mojang are watching the podcast and they are taking my ideas without crediting me. I'm furious.
Jack, actually, I want to stop there. Let's segue to this question, and this is going to link us into the copper, the copper age. I wanted to ask you, which I think is a no-brainer. I'll start with you, Jack. What's your favorite drop this year so far? We've had the Spring to Life drop, then Chase the Skies, and then the Copper Age, as it's officially named now. Which one is your favorite? Why? And then could you explain your least favorite and why?
I mean, I'd be happy to. Yeah. I mean, my least favorite first of all is Chase the Skies. I appreciate what Chase the Skies is, but as a Java player, I am furious that I still haven't got vibrant visuals yet. I'm hungry. I want it. Yeah, bring me vibrant visuals parity, man. It's bad enough living in the UK, let alone not having this. It's terrible. But for me, as a late game player, I've been playing on my world for 2 and a bit years now. I don't use the happy gust. I use the dry gust. I think it's a nice block. Don't get me wrong, but that's all I'm gaining out of this. I don't really use the lead mechanics. Maybe I'm not being as creative as I could be. I put Spring to Life in the middle. I think Spring to Life was a good drop. I like what it did to. It opens up the doors for other mobs to have variants. I expect we see Fox variant, a warm Fox variant at some point. I imagine we see maybe hostile mob variants. That's stretching it a bit, but I can't imagine why not.
I would love that.
They've clearly got the data function. They've clearly got the capacity to do so through like, I know in the Java, I'm a big fan of Slice Lime and his data pack videos. I know for a fact that frogs, cats, wolves, cows, pigs, and chickens, they can all have variants added through data packs. So already we've got easy ways to add more mobs in the future should the need come. Personally, I would have liked to have more variants. Maybe I'm being greedy. Maybe I'm being a bit selfish when I say that. But overall, I think it was a good drop. It makes the overworld feel fresh. It makes the overworld feel modern. I guess a new modern age post 1.17, 1.18. And my favorite is the Copper Age. It's clearly Mojang listening to community feedback. I won't use the copper tools myself, but I've got friends who play Minecraft and they don't understand why you can't craft copper tools. You know, me and you, Greg, we spoke about this on our episode. It doesn't make sense why there's no copper tools, copper armor. It intrinsically makes sense for the player. And all of the copper features I think are fantastic. They nailed the Copper Golem on the head. I want the only mob that I voted for that didn't win was the Copper Golem, and the crab. So I'm very pleased the Copper Golem is here, and I think they hit the nail on the head. They reworked him. They showed that they are listening to us, and I think it was just a clear, case study of Mojang understanding what the community wants. Don't get me wrong. There are some gripes, as all updates and drops have. Personally, I would have liked to see copper pressure plates, copper buttons, but there is already so much copper stuff in the drop. I've got nothing but applause. I think the team are doing fantastic. I think the drop it proves the drop system clearly works. And yeah, if we do see another drop with, I've heard rumors of an ocean theme. John on Discord, Nautilus. If we do see that coming to fruition, it shows they're also looking at different aspects of the game. It clearly works. And yeah, I'd say the Copper Age is number one. Very clearly. I love copper.
Honestly,
thank you for that.
It's a little strange. Like, now that you mention it, like I completely I didn't even consider that there wasn't copper buttons that have been added, and it's just a little strange considering like when we first saw the Copper Golem, it was just that and the button, and that was all there was to it. Like, it would go around pressing buttons. So obviously that's another thing. Like, I wish that was a feature still. Like, I wish that was like maybe like a secondary feature that it could do where it doesn't require a chest and it could be doing other stuff. I think that would be pretty neat, but I mean, I guess you can't really complain. It's not too much of a big deal either way. But to go off that into a different direction, like back to the vibrant visuals, Neon Gaming in the live chat actually brings up a pretty good point as to why this might be taking so long. And what he says here is that like it's two different engines basically, Bedrock and Java. They're two completely different games. So when you're making an update for each one, it's not like you can just make the update on one and then port it over to the other. Like, you have to individually make it for both different ones, because that's how different engines they are. Like, they're completely made with like different code and whatever. Like, I don't really know computer stuff that well, but I know enough to know that they're like that far different that like everything has to be done 2 times over. But when it comes to lighting, I mean, Neon follows up here saying that like the entire lighting engine would have to be like modified for Java, which I can't imagine would be as easy to do as like just updating textures or other minor changes like that they've been doing in the past. I do figure lighting would be a little like more tricky to get down.
I do.
Obviously, that's.
So
I do see where you're coming from, 100%. I'm going to disagree a little bit. I'll say one thing: bundles worked on Java for years and years. Because it didn't work on Bedrock, Java players waited, albeit behind experimental. And I know the technical Bedrock is far superior in terms of technical capability. However, Why? I don't know. I feel I'm being selfish. I know. I feel like why does Java have to wait for one thing and Bedrock another? But then again, I feel like, we talk about Michael and we talk about Toy Cat's Nan, who is trapped until offhand capability comes to the game. It swings and roundabouts. So I do get what you're saying. I just like bundles of bravery. For me, I had bundles on experimental. So if that dropped for me, it was a nothing burger because all I got was retextured.
You got dyed bundles now.
Yeah, I got dyed bundles and I got baby squids. Like whoop-de-doo. I'm very happy. Don't get me wrong, I do appreciate the fact that we took Big Salmon away from Bedrock, but I feel like I feel
sorry to jump
No,
in,
you're fine.
but I have to say I get both sides of it. I get both sides. Like they're two different engines. Maybe that makes it a little bit difficult. My problem with it, though, also is this is the world's most popular game.
Yeah.
These guys make literally millions and millions and millions of dollars. There shouldn't be a question of, oh, gee, two different engines. I don't know. I've heard things like Ethereum a couple years ago rebuilding a whole entire platform, like upgrade while it was alive. There's ways to do things to link systems together while it's operating in real time. You can, I mean, if you have millions of dollars, troubleshoot it, come up with a solution. I don't see why parity is an issue in the year 2025. It should just be pretty instantaneous, I would say. I don't know though. It sounds like maybe these two engines are just maybe they need to revamp them so they correlate together better. I'm not sure.
I think it's that the Java and Bedrock teams, they don't have like much overlap. Like obviously they have to like there's someone that's deciding the features or whatever, but then who's coding the Java stuff and who's coding the Bedrock stuff
But
is
why?
Like, completely because it's like different coding languages and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
I believe Bedrock.
They need to unify this stuff.
Yeah, that would make a lot more sense, honestly. But also, we have to consider like if it's unified, it is probably going to be like with Bedrock taking the mantle, and also like that's I mean to add to what Jack was saying earlier, or to just like refute it a bit from like just a more of a practical sense. I mean, I play Java, like that's the only edition that I really play these days. I haven't played Bedrock outside of like the big events or whatever. But I mean, Java in itself, while what did used to be the main version, right now it's sort of just like a side thing that like older people play. The majority of Minecraft's revenue, the vast majority, if not like 99% or more of it, is made from those sales in Bedrock.
Yeah,
because that's got the
marketplace.
All these, and also just like every supported device, like you can get it on your phone, you can get it on like the Fire TV. It's ridiculous how many places you can get it, and just like
and that all started from Pocket Edition.
Oh yeah, it's just it's going to be a lot more. It's a lot more practical for them to focus on Bedrock, just because that's what's generating them the more revenue. So while it does suck that it takes forever for Java to see like basic stuff like bundles, or for example like dyed cauldrons, or
don't even get me started. I'm furious.
Oh my god! Yes, same dude. It's so annoying. It's like that is something that is
that is one of. Do you know what? I have like a handful. It's like snowy leaves, snow logging. Oh, I'm furious.
Okay, we'll get to those the once and whatnot later. Let's go ahead
Those are needs.
Since we're encroaching that hour mark. Let's move this along a little bit. I want to get specifically into the third drop, the Copper Age. Now, the Copper Age, we're getting the Copper Golem, as we've already stated, copper armor, tools, weapons. Let's just go over it. Do you guys enjoy the Copper Golem oldest? What do you guys think of the Copper Age? I'm just going to throw this out and just you guys say what in no order. What do you think of this?
Sorry,
I think it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
No. I'm yapping. You go.
I think that this could be like a lead to like a new age redstone. Obviously, like Minecraft's probably, at least in vanilla, it's probably never going to reach the level like creator or whatever. And honestly, that probably wouldn't be a good idea anyway, because it would just make it too complicated for like the casual gamer. But outside of that, I feel like all these different things, like especially with the Copper Golem, I mean, it's something where you can have it like you can make like tracks for it, and it'll follow it every single time because it's got to reach that copper chest, and it'll go like the fastest way possible to reach that chest. So like, there's a lot of different ways that could probably be used for automation. Maybe one day we'll be seeing like airships that are like powered by copper chests, like massive like flying machine blimps that are where copper golems are moving stuff around to keep it powered and keep it moving. I think that'd be pretty cool, but I guess we'll have to see what people come up with.
What I've been able to utilize the Copper Golem for, I've got a storage system in my world which not to brag or anything, it's just took me a couple minutes. It sorts every single item in the game, but whatever. But there are a handful of items that you can't really sort, namely unstackables. You can get away with music discs, you can sort books, you can sort potions, but things like beds you can't sort. Things like buckets, filled buckets are quite difficult to sort as well. The Copper Golem allows for unstackable sorting, so I'm excited for the you can sort every single item in the game now flawlessly. You can put them all in a chest, have it go through this massive sorting system, which, to be honest, is now practically redundant with the Copper Golem. You can make a much smaller, much cheaper sorting system for half the effort. So I am a little bit bitter. I'm a bit salty, but we move. And the Copper Golem can now sort out every single bed, every single banner pattern, armor trims because they're not too common.
Oh, that's cool.
All of your sherds and trims. Every bundle, for example, it can sort bundles. It'll be. I think the only thing that I would like to see, talking of bundles of bravery, I'd like to see a way for bundles to get rid of their contents. If there was a way to do that through Redstone, that's just me though. I'm not. That's very niche, but the Copper Golem sorts out so many issues for advanced Redstone. So I guess again, talking on Chase the Skies, I myself will use this drop a lot more, and I feel like a lot of people will. It helps people in the early game. That basic sorting system setup, and it helps people in the late game. So I'm a big fan of the Copper Golem.
I love hearing that. Next, what do you think?
About the Copper Age?
Yeah, what's your overall consensus on that? Do you enjoy it? These additions?
I hate this drop.
No, do you? Okay.
No, I'm kidding.
Brother, what?
Pitchforks. No, I'm kidding.
You're out of the show. No, I'm just kidding.
Man. No, it's a good one. I think it was Jack that said this, but I don't really see myself using the copper tools, like, to be completely honest, but I do like all the new like bars and lanterns and everything like that. I feel like shelves are just completely overlooked now. Like, I haven't really heard anybody mention shelves in a while.
I was about to ask that. What the shelves I think are amazing, but
I'm so excited to use those.
Yeah, we can go ahead and jump onto the shelf. I'm super excited about the copper stuff, especially for decor. I think copper armor on the stands are going to look amazing in like my palaces. I think the animations of the Copper Golem are just going to bring a lot of life to builds. Along with the villagers, and all the other mobs that we can have that are friendly or whatever. I think there's going to be so much, and honestly, I think this Copper Age is quite a massive overhaul. We're adding an entire tier of metal to the game. I think it's a big deal.
One thing I'd like to end off on, like at least in terms of copper, is that I mean, I only really realized this like pretty much this morning or maybe a couple days ago at the most. That like this is the way that copper's found. I mean, it's like very common in the overworlds. I'm sure before this update, everyone had like stacks of it in like some sort of junk mining chest. But like it's also like historically, it's like one of the first metals that humanity ever worked. The copper
native
age,
copper.
Like, exactly.
In my episode,
copper.
Yeah, it just stands out to the eye. The tint. It's easy to spot.
It's ancient. It's like humans used it for hundreds of thousands of years before they moved on to advance to anything else. And I mean, it was common. It was something that could be easily worked. So like having like, especially for like if it's a big server or something like that, and there's like a lot of players, like you can imagine that players that don't have access to like like more fancy resources, like maybe like all the diamonds around spawn or like have been mined up. Like there's nothing left in the or underground, like anywhere like near the spawn regions. So in that case,
That's a
like yeah,
valid
maybe you
point.
would be like using copper, maybe you would be using like iron for a while until you can get like better tools, and that really depends like how much time it takes. Like some people they just rush it and they just try to get diamond as quick as possible, but other times it's like that's not what they're focused on. So maybe they'll be using copper for a lot longer than anyone else would expect, and it's just because of how easy it is to access. I just feel like I don't know, it's pretty realistic compared to other stuff we've seen.
I like what you mentioned about most people thinking, with hardcore YouTube becoming such a massive thing, and most people beating the Ender Dragon within 2 minutes of the game on YouTube, it's disappointing because like I've got like cousins who are sad that they've only got like a couple diamonds, and I'm like, it's a sandbox game. You can do whatever you like. You don't need diamonds.
Yeah.
You are broke if you haven't got any diamonds, albeit, don't get me wrong, you are poor, but you can play it. You can play it how you like, man. Mo Yang were flexing the other day on their Twitter with that wallet of emeralds and diamonds. So, but copper having the tier does help intrinsic gameplay. It does help with. I really would love for them to oxidize. Sorry, this is a side note. I'd love it if, as the copper deteriorated with durability, you could see it go like that blue tint of the
What do
exposed.
you want to see oxidize?
So the armor, and you can't really do it with
Yeah.
the horse armor, but the armor as you use it and it deteriorates, it would be fantastic if. I know the capabilities in Java. I know that for a fact.
Guys, it looks like Michael Lewis is coming in. MichaelTBH.
Oh, sweet.
Here he is.
Michael, welcome.
Oh,
Hey, it looks like we
hello.
got the full team. How you doing, man?
I'm good. Sorry I'm late. How are you guys doing?
No, I'm glad you're here. We're doing great. We're talking about the Copper Age. So good timing. Jack, what were you saying?
I just love for the so as you use the copper armor, copper tools, they lose durability as all tools and armor do. But it'd be nice to see them oxidize, keep the lore of the copper armor and the tools sort of in line with the other things. They did it with the lightning rods. They made lightning rods fit in with the rest of the copper family. I feel like we should get that with the tools and the armor as well. I feel like it makes intrinsic sense.
No, I love that. And so what do you think about the Copper Age, Michael, since you just popped in?
I mean, it's good. Yeah, I think like the copper is kind of done. I mean, I'd have liked to see it do something more like intuitive, whether that be with like minecarts or like I don't like a compass, like something like more. I feel like armor was a very easy and safe route, but I mean, it's something, drop system is very safe, so I'm not really surprised. Um, it's something, I mean, I was surprised when we got copper armor because I was under the impression we'd never see it. So to see it in the game, to have it in the game, um, is really like refreshing, and it kind of like I don't know, it kind of to me it's like, or anything's possible really. Like I don't really trust what Mojang say, but like not in a bad way, but in like something will never come to the game. It could, right? I mean, and we've got proof of that, so I think that's really exciting, honestly.
Yeah, no, I agree. Do you think, and I'll start with Nex here, this question. Do you think this was the Copper Age and all these additions of copper? Do you think this was something long past due? And what do you think?
I think it's funny. Yeah, I think copper armor probably should have been here since Caves and Cliffs, but
And the tools and weapons and
yeah, yeah, maybe not like all the other blocks. Like I think lightning rods and whatnot and stuff all could have waited, but like armor and tools definitely should have been there, especially during the cave update development. Like it would have made so much more sense, and I mean, for a while, when people were still getting used to the new ore distribution, like copper tools would have been so useful.
Anybody
So
else?
it is something that probably should have been there, but better late than never.
No, I agree with that. I mean, it's something I think it would have made sense to have all this as soon as copper was put into the game, honestly. But
Right.
I'm glad it, like you said, better late than never.
I with on the topic of copper, I will say copper chests fantastic. I feel like this drop was tailored to a vast majority of vast group of people, right? You have your redstoners, you've got your builders. What I would like to see copper do next. I know I'm asking for a lot here. We've just had a whole drop based around copper. I'm not I'm not ungrateful. But I would like to see copper be used for something else. We have
Yeah.
tools, we have armor, we have a little bit of redstone functionality. But what makes iron stand out is the sink, and by that I mean you can mine iron for hours on hours on hours, and you might not have enough. You might have to develop a farm. But with copper, you don't. Even now, I'd even argue you still don't have that sink. Um, if you wanted to make copper chains, you go out and you only make a certain amount of copper chains, or if you want copper bars, you go and you make a certain amount of copper bars, or same with the trapdoors, same with all the other blocks. Things like hoppers, you need so much iron for. You are constantly getting iron for to make a storage system, or things like crafters, for example. That was one of my gripes with 1.21. I thought it would make so much sense intrinsically for the crafters to be made out of copper. I thought it would make sense for us to just throw something to throw copper at, with it being 1.21 and trial chambers. But it'd be nice to an idea I have seen, and I know me and you spoke about this, Greg, is on Bedrock you can waterlog redstone repeaters, which makes no sense, by the way, but pop off Bedrock players, I don't know. But I'd like the idea of being able to wrap a redstone repeater in copper and then have that be waterloggable. And then you give copper a use. You give a new functionality to redstone components. And that is something that people sink their copper into. Being able to lay repeaters and maybe even redstone blocks underneath water without it breaking off, using copper, for example, would be fantastic. Or even amethyst. We need something to sink copper into, and although what we've got at the moment is good, I will use the copper chest in my storage system maybe five times, 5 copper chests. I'm not going to make hundreds and hundreds of copper chests. And I feel like that's what the material needs. I think the most recipes in the game is iron or wood, if I'm not mistaken. Give that to copper. It's such a common resource. Wood, I feel like that's in a good place, but copper, I know we just had a drop. I don't mean to sound like a moaning Myrtle, but I love the drop. I will use all of the things in the drop, but yeah, that's my only gripe. Love the drop, by the way. Love Mojang.
Anybody want to respond to that?
Yeah, to piggyback off of what Jack was saying about like how there's just no sync to it. And I do think, yeah, it really should be expanded upon like with redstone capabilities. But uh, once again, I feel like electricity is like underutilized. Like it has like a single feature in that like the lightning rod like takes the electricity, but then it's not realistic because if the lightning rod's connected to more copper, then realistically it would go down the copper, right? Like it would continue down until it like reaches like wherever, like the ground or whatever. Um, and I feel like that would be like a lot more interesting and a lot more useful for redstone if you were like able to also like maybe there's a block that could like produce electricity instead of like redstone power, like you know how like a redstone block produces like I think like 10 power or something like that. Has like a signal of like 10 strength. Maybe like there could be like an electricity meter and or just like the same kind of like redstone like signal strength, but there would be a specific block to do that. So that way you can make copper circuits with blocks that could be going like straight up and down. With redstone, like when you got to go up, like there's ways to do it, but it takes up some space. But with this, you could just build straight up with like copper blocks and then have that like a wire going down, and that would save like so much more space and also just make that feature a lot more useful. And also, like I feel like armor could be expanded upon too, because I mean, if you're wearing a full set of copper armor, I feel like you'd be a crazy conduit for lightning. So imagine like,
could you imagine?
Is that a good thing, though?
Right. And it's like
That'd be amazing.
Like realistically, like that would be like a pretty stupid thing to wear, especially if it's like a rainstorm. But maybe like you could have that to your advantage, where it's like it gets struck and then it's like powered up. Like maybe you do more damage. Like maybe you do like an additional like 10 like electrical damage or whatever, just like some extra bonus, just like sharpness does. Or like maybe it's like maybe it's like thorns, where it's like an enemy attacks you and they take some damage. I feel like that could be a like interesting mechanic, which at least like gives some incentive for you to like hold on to that armor, or at least maybe just like the copper helmet.
I feel like what Minecraft is missing, and I feel like they're missing like niche pieces of armor, like the turtle shell. I'd love for that to. Personally, I don't think I disagree with you, Nightstick, but I would have that be like a Copper Golem helmet or something, which has a lightning rod on it, where you could get struck by lightning. I feel like we need more odd bits of armor. Like, do you remember the mob vote where you had that bee armor by the Copper Golem in the little animation? Something like that would be fantastic. Just obviously we're not going to kill bees because Mojang would have a hissy fit, but I feel like more niche pieces of armor would make sense. Stuff like the turtle shell. Why not use something that has already got a use, but expand it upon, like armadillo skew. One of my gripes is materials having one use. I hate it. I wish it wasn't a
echo
thing.
shards.
I'm gonna cry.
What's that? Go ahead. What was that, Michael?
I mean, like I agree. There's a lot of items that just have one use, like echo shards, and it's just Mojang just don't touch them again. The thing with copper, and I agree. I even said here, right? I think you should have the flagship like prominent factor. The issue is that does it replace iron? Because like it could overtake iron in use, and do you really want that as part of your like progression? Given iron is just significantly better. I don't really know because iron's just been such a staple thing that one copper thing could make it so that iron's just obsolete. Like yes, you have like hoppers and crafters and rails and stuff like that, but any copper variant of that, and iron's just kind of there, and it just reverses that progression. Like it's like, well, now copper's great and iron's meh, and now that we've already kind of got that now, like iron's kind of been shafted, like slightly, not badly, but like there's still like I don't know.
Well, it's kind of basic economics, huh? Like now we have this flood of copper. It does kind of diminish the value of iron a wee bit, right?
I mean, there's still a lot of stuff that's just like iron exclusive. Like they're not going to be making like copper shears, for example, or like copper and steel. So there's like still a lot of stuff like that, like where it's just it's iron fulfills that niche. And iron golems, for example, I know a lot of people don't actually use iron golems, but I've been like refortifying a lot of villages on the server I play on, like making sure that the surviving villagers can survive in the next coming years, like. Because like I mean, realistically, a village left alone like will get completely wiped out within a couple days as long as the player's within render distance, because they're just not made to withstand zombie attacks whatsoever. So by putting a couple golems down, like that's at least a little bit of protection to keep them safe a little longer. And that does require a ton of iron. And it's like, even if you're not doing something like that, even if you just need something to like protect your base, or like maybe you have a farm that's like using golems to like kill stuff for you.
Yeah, 32 iron.
It's expensive, and I mean you can't make a copper golem kick ass for you, so it's like there's definitely still is limits, and I feel like iron will still like be more useful and like retain its value. So I disagree there, but I definitely see like it. I mean, it is a slippery slope. I mean, if you made everything copper, like I mean, it would be like what he was saying. It's just there wouldn't be any use for iron now. But the way it is right now, where like those basic tools still need iron, like I still think iron definitely has its use.
I mean, iron is still used for so much where copper doesn't have it. Like pistons need iron, lodestones need iron now after Spring to Life, and even things like you mentioned, shears, crafters, buckets cauldrons, and I know we were talking about bedrock cauldrons earlier. Cauldrons have got a massive use, and if they added a copper cauldron, I feel like Michael would
We
be
actually
right.
got those.
Yeah,
in
in
April Fool's update. Oh
April
my
Fool's,
god!
yeah.
Who got those?
Yeah, in it was in a April Fool's snapshot where we got copper
Okay.
spleeves, which I imagine were the inspiration for copper grates. Yeah, we did get. I'm on the wiki now. Wait, let me find it. Give me a moment.
I believe it's just called Copper Sync.
And there's a lot of copper stuff that just never got added, right? You got the horn as well.
It's a really cool texture.
Yeah, Copper Sync. It was introduced in 23W13A or B.
I feel like if it was like an education edition texture or like maybe dungeons, I feel like it would have a slightly higher chance of getting in. But since it's an April Fool's texture, there's obviously no chance it's going to make it into the base game. I mean, in the past there have been some April Fool's April Fool's features like a
stained glass.
coal was a tinted glass that or stained glass that was a April Fool's feature that got adapted to a real thing, and so was horses there was a few things, but those were all like over a decade ago, and they haven't done anything like that recently. So even with features that have been good in the past like few years, so I doubt that's going to happen with the Copper Sync as much as I'd want it to, because it looks great. I mean, you could make like a brewery, like a distillery or something with it. Like there's a lot. I don't know. I feel like there's a lot of cool stuff you could build with
that. That does bring me to the next question here. Do you guys think this drop is finally finished? Because we did just receive on Tuesday, the 25th, a snapshot 25W35A. They did a lot of technical work, bug fixes, many of which were on the Copper Golem. And from what I've heard, it's been improved quite a bit. But do you think that do you think this drop's finished? Do you think we're going to see any more snapshots, or what do you expect? And I'll start with Michael here.
Feature wise, it's been finished for like a few weeks, right?
Okay. Yeah.
We have, I would have said like last week, no, in terms of that bug fixing, but we have the name, so they're like internally they know when they're releasing the drop by now, right? They know like a month in advance, to be honest with you. They just don't say, right? Because obviously Minecraft Live, they'll probably be like, "Hi, Copper Age here, hi, dual wielding here as well." That's just me hoping. But
yeah, I want to get into that here next too.
But no, like bug fixing, I don't really know, because like both versions are different in terms of the stage of the Copper Golem. Like I think Bedrock is a little bit more polished. So what happens? Does Bedrock just kind of sit there and vibe while Strava like catches up? It's just kind of awkward. I think like at most you're looking at 1 week left of bug fixes at most, but who knows, right?
This is controversially. This is where I feel like the Java system of updates is a lot better, because you can bug fix right until the very end, and then if there is any issues, you get 1.21.7, 1.21.8.
Oh yeah.
I would say, I'd say the drop is finished. Like Michael said, it is feature complete, obviously. But if the drop was to release as it was last week, it'd be terrible. I mean, look at what Chase the Skies on Bedrock Edition. It was shocking. Everyone's happy gas died within like a day, and it didn't happen to you, Greg. Your happy gas got clipped on the.
Got stuck on a roof.
Oh, rest in
I
peace.
saw that, yeah.
I'll pour one out for him
that,
tonight.
Michael. That was ridiculous. That was my least favorite, by the way, of all the drops this year.
Yeah,
that was a disappointing. It wasn't ready to be released, in my opinion. But
stinky gas.
They changed the gas resolution. It's just like it's like a controversial opinion now, like because like people are just like will just like follow whatever Mojang says without any question. But like I don't know. I guess like they want to get like pixel like consistency where like some pixels aren't bigger than others, but the 32 by 32 gas now or whatever like resolution they're doing, it feels like too hyper realistic. It feels like something that's coming out of like one of those texture packs. It just doesn't look like it belongs in the base game. So outside of that though,
the Wither's next. The Wither and the Elder Guardian will be next, and then we're all gonna cry.
God, I hope not.
So I did want to ask this again. Actually, I'm going to be diving into some expectations, and we kind of briefly talked about this, the Dungeons 2 announcement. I don't know if Jack, you were in on that conversation, and Michael, I don't think
No.
you were, but do you think we're going to hear anything about Dungeons 2 in this upcoming Minecraft Fall Live event?
Yeah, quite
No.
easily.
You think so?
Yeah,
Was that Jack?
yeah, that was me. Sorry. I
No,
will
you're fine.
say, I feel like they fumbled a little bit. I feel like they should have announced it in June or July with the Xbox Game Showcase. I feel like that was a more appropriate place to put it because then you could follow up
I
from
disagree
Minecraft.
with that.
No, sorry, Dungeons 2. I watch Minecraft live for Minecraft.
Mhm.
For me, and don't get me wrong, I feel like there is a place for it. You have a smaller subsection of people. Sorry, I'm gonna go off on a rant here. Minecraft Live, you get the core, you get the most dedicated people. You get your MichaelTBHs, you get your JLNs, you get your Nexus, you get your Andrew IBX Toycats, you get your Wattles. You're not getting your average person coming in and looking at the game, right? Those people will be watching the Xbox Live Showcase, and I feel like for Dungeons to flourish, it should have been promoted there. It should have been introduced there as an Xbox game. Give it its own feet to stand on, and I feel like that's where Legends fell short. Legends, I hated Legends. Sorry, I'm going to be honest. Maybe maybe it's a strategy game thing.
A
I
lot of
thought
people do.
that was a stinky game. Whoa, but
Jack, if I may interject,
yeah, go on.
I personally don't I personally don't see them announcing Dungeons at a Xbox Live event, and I know that's Microsoft, that would benefit them, right? But I think that kind of goes against their ethos of crossplay. I think that would be very exclusive when it comes to devices. You know what I mean? I don't see them announcing a Mojang or a Minecraft spinoff, I guess, or a Minecraft game at a Xbox Live event, just because I think that would exclude all the other devices. I mean, I think that'd be great for their stock, but I don't know if that would be like great for the bottom dollar, since they do make money with Bedrock. Well, I don't know how that works with Dungeons, but with all these other devices, you know what I mean?
With Dungeons, I believe most of the revenue that comes in would probably be just whatever cut they make from Game Pass, because
Mhm.
like the Dungeons, like Minecraft and everything else, is included with Game Pass, and I'd imagine that's how most people are playing it. Um, and honestly, like I disagree. Like I think that it should be like revealed during like Minecraft's actual like shows, like these live drops or live events or whatever. Because I mean, it's like obviously there's like people like Diablo players who are just playing dungeons because they more so just like the mechanics and all that, or maybe they just like Minecraft as a casual player. Then there's the people that like really like Minecraft who have just like played the base game and they want to get into the lore and everything, and that's why they're playing dungeons. Or it's like maybe they just can't get enough and they just love the just anything Minecraft related. So those people are obviously going to be watching and listening into these live shows. So I feel like that would actually be the right place to promote it, because obviously with Legends, I mean, yeah, no, it's got a soft spot in my heart because I liked the terrain features. I think they did a really good job with the how things were generated and the way different trees were, and also just like the texture work. I mean, I've been converting textures to make them placeable in Java, and there's like over 1,000 different like exclusive textures to Legends, and a lot of them are just like completely new features, different types of wood and everything. But it's just they pulled the plug on it too soon before it could actually develop into a proper game. And right now it's just like in an unfinished mess right now. I feel like it got released too early and it looks like they cut a lot. I mean, originally like you're obviously supposed to be able to go into the nether, but that never became a thing. So it's just I feel like Legends never really got a chance to shine, but Dungeons has already been a success. I mean, that's been proven. They've earned a ton of money from that, and they were doing DLCs like pretty much like every other year, or maybe even more than that. I think there's like 4 or 5 DLCs for the game, and it's been pretty well received, all things considered. So I think a Dungeons 2, I mean, it really could be a toss up. Maybe it is not. Maybe it is an Xbox game showcase, or maybe it comes on the Minecraft Live events. But I think I'd like to see it on Minecraft Live because I feel like it'd be best received there.
In my head, I thought Minecraft Live had about 1 million viewers this year. I just checked; it's got nearly 9 million viewers. So I'm going to eat my words here.
Jeez.
I didn't realize it was that big of a show because
Wow.
maybe it's me. Minecraft Live March of 2025 is sitting at 8.7 million views for the main show, and the Xbox Game Showcase is sitting at 2 million viewers. So Greg, Nightstake, I apologize. I think that leak at the start of the year must be true with the we were meant to, where it announced we'd have 4 drops a year and Spice would come out next year. I think that was genuine because unless I don't know, it just makes sense to me, and I'm a bit worried that for me, I feel like they're not giving it enough time from announcement to if what they're saying is true that it will be released mid next year. I feel like announcing it in September, I imagine live will be this year. It's not enough time, and that's just me. Uh, Dungeons still will be a success. You whack Minecraft on anything, it will sell. They did a Schwavotsky collab, and I'm pretty sure that's sold out like
Yeah, I
crystal
forgot about
diamonds.
that.
Minecraft is a capitalist powerhouse. Whatever you put Minecraft on, it will sell. The Minecraft movie did fantastic. There will be Minecraft movies. There will be spin-offs. There will be a Garrett the Garbage Man show. There's a Netflix show. Whatever Minecraft does will be a success. And I feel like whatever they do with Dungeons, whether they announce it Minecraft Live or another event, it'll be a success nevertheless. They will make stupid money. More money than I would ever
Okay.
have seen in my life.
One thing to
Yeah.
consider there also is that this isn't something that they've just pulled out of the woodwork. I mean, the screenshots when they were leaked, it was also mentioned, I believe, that these were taken around 2021, so that was before even Legends had come out. So it's clear that they've been working on this for quite some time now, and I imagine that the finished game we see, the UI probably looks nothing like what we've seen in that dev footage. It's probably going to look something completely different, but and those screenshots, like I said, are pretty old. I mean, I don't know. I don't remember how long ago the Deep Dark update is, but maybe that was even before they, or maybe that even came after they started working on Dungeons 2. We really don't know what goes on back there behind the scenes, but I imagine they've worked on it a lot longer than when that leak came out.
If I see a 4th dimension added through Minecraft Dungeons that's not in the base game, I'm gonna crash out. I swear to God, I'm gonna be so angry.
So on expectations here, I kind of want to skip around here on questions. I kind of want to talk about this end, and there was an interview on Adir TV with Olraf on there who sparked a lot of banner online amongst Minecraft fans about the end. Do you think revamping the end is part of Mojang's 2-year plan that stretches into 2028? Do you think that's something we're going to be seeing in the Minecraft fall live event? Anything about the end news wise, or what are you guys thinking about the end? And who would like to start off with that?
I mean, if no one else wants to, I don't mind.
Go ahead.
I feel like the end it's put right. So sorry, I'm going to use an analogy here. You have an exam, and you put so much pressure on yourself, and when you go to the exam, you want to make sure it's perfect, and sometimes that pressure can either make or break you. I feel like that's the position Mojang is in currently. If they do an end update and it's bad, it's objectively bad, that it's the worst thing that could happen to the game. Everyone keeps asking for an end update, and I mean I want an end update, but it will come when it comes. It's clearly in Mojang's plan. They would not update the Nether and choose not to update the end. And as we've heard rumors of the core. There's 2 sort of teams. You've got your drop team. You have your cycling group of developers who work on different drops, and then you have your base team. In Minecraft Live 2024, where they announced the Pale Garden, in the after show, Jens, is he still the lead developer on Minecraft?
I think
He said that he didn't work at all. He didn't work on the Pale Garden at all. So it leads me to believe that there is something bigger in the works. Whether that's an end update or a combat update. Sorry, Michael, I know it's a sensitive subject.
It is.
Yeah.
It is.
It makes sense. As we've seen recently, they're listening to community feedback, and I feel like to do an end update, there's a lot that needs to happen first. There's a lot of things that need to happen. Like, for example, there's so much parity that you need to focus on first. There offhand. Oh my god! If you update the end and you don't do offhand first, I feel like you'd be a fool.
Okay,
I'm
let's
being
dive into the
serious.
offhand. Let's talk about that. Let's just get into it. Why is it that you say that if you're going to update the end, you have to update offhand? Why is that?
Well, offhand is a much right. How many players go to the end? Based on the Xbox achievements, I feel like it's only a couple. It's only a minor percentage, but
I
I
tell you
haven't
in a
been
second.
yet.
Gone.
I'll tell you in a second. There's an actual like statistic I can look up. Hang on. To enter the end.
Yeah, enter
Yeah.
the end.
That I would love to hear that statistic.
So you
Give
have
me a
this
second.
subset of players, but every single player, especially on Java, uses offhand. Every single player. So by updating your combat, by updating your offhand for Bedrock Edition, you already improve, I should say, every single player's gameplay experience automatically. I bet Michael's had nightmares about putting a torch in an offhand and your pickaxe in your main hand. Like it feels like
I
intrinsic
have.
gameplay.
No. Yeah. 100%.
Now, the torch, that's amazing. So, Michael, when do you think we're going to see this? I listened to our last episode together, Michael, yesterday.
God.
And I think you and I talked for 30 to 40 minutes about combat dual
Yes.
wielding. So, do you expect to hear anything during this Minecraft Fall Live event in regards to dual wielding?
So first of all, to answer the end, 6% of players have entered the end.
That's
How many?
ridiculous.
6%,
How many?
6.3% have entered. Not the skills, but
6.3?
entered, straight up entered the portal.
That is pathetic.
Yeah. In terms of the offhand, I hope they're going to announce it in October. They kind of have to, in my opinion. Jack's right. I mean, like, you need to update so many more systems before the end gets updated, because if you're going to update the end, you're probably changing how you fight the dragon. And if combat doesn't get changed, then it's going to be sluggish on both versions. And if combat doesn't get changed, there's probably no offhand, because that obviously the two go together. So there's going to be a disadvantage to that. I personally do think the next drop is combat related. I'm hoping, obviously, on so many levels of hoping that we see a combat update. But I do not believe they're going to do the end update first before, like, not even just combat, but like other outdated systems. There's no way they update the end. I mean, the only situation is they get pressured to do it, but I think Mojang are like more like hands-on, like smarter than that. They're not going to get tricked to do it, because if they do, the end update will be bad, like objectively.
I got a feeling that it's like something like, maybe this is just a conspiracy, but what if it's like something that they already have like sort of figured out? I mean, in Minecraft Dungeons, it's clear they put like a ton of time into figuring out like the coming up with different types of flora and fauna that would be like exclusive to the end, and like they added new types of stone and everything. And it's clear they put a ton of effort into it, like in both in the textures and in the thought process and the color schemes and everything. So I think that if we get an end update, I think at least some of that would be ported over, probably with altered textures, so it looked like they weren't just like copying and pasting their homework from earlier. Because I mean, that's usually what happens anyway. Like if something gets adapted from Dungeons, they switch it up a little bit, like they did with the Highland Cow. But I think adding that stuff, like that wouldn't change the end too much. I mean, like if you just keep like the center island and the closer islands like basic, and then maybe the further you go out into those outer islands, the more wacky things get, and like the more chance there is for islands to generate with these entries. I think they internally they're referred to as end spruce, where it's got like a purple like coarse fruit like wood, and then the leaves themselves are like this nice yellow color, which I think would be like very good for making fall themed builds in the overworld.
That's what it's called, End Spruce.
Yeah, and spruce. Like it's never said directly, but internally, like when I was converting the textures over to like add them into Java in block display, and
Mhm.
spruce wood came up for both the leaves and the wood there. So it's I've
That's
thought
cool.
of that a lot. Like I don't know, like maybe it's like came from the overworld and got warped or something, or maybe that's just like what they called it because they adapted it from the spruce texture. I'm not too sure myself, but I always thought that was pretty neat. And it's the textures themselves; they look great. I mean, like color palette and everything,
yeah.
it goes in perfectly.
What do you think, Next?
In terms of what, end update?
Yeah, end update. I think that's what we're on. We're kind of going back and forth between combat and end update. I am curious to know what the combat update would look like or entail. But what do you think of like the end? Let's continue that.
I really like Dungeons like End. I think the End Wilds biome is beautiful. The yellow, like Night Streak was saying, the yellow and the purple, such a great combo. And yeah, I mean, honestly, they could do that and then add a structure.
Yeah, back to the structures, huh?
Yeah, back to that. Um, and I'd be fine with that. Like one of those biomes, I've seen like gray biomes that somebody added, like for a mod they did, and that actually looks sweet as well. Um, I hope it's in the plans for their 2028 roadmap. I don't see it not being in there. I think if it's not in their plans until 2028, we might be cooked. But yeah, I mean, hopefully sooner rather than later, maybe next year.
Well, I do like hearing about like them doing the combat before the end update, but I would like to know what would that look like? What like they would have to add some features or something, right? So how would they? What? How do you guys see that going about, like a combat update or drop?
You can't. What is this for the end? Sorry.
Combat, I believe,
Sorry,
right?
Combat.
yeah, combat. I'm jumping around. Yeah, what
Yeah.
would a combat update look like
It can't. It
exactly?
has to be a major update. You can't just update core
Could be a
fundamentals.
Mm,
drop, right?
No,
it could be a drop.
it has to
I
be a
think it
new
could be a
major
drop.
version. It can't be
You
a
think
drop.
so?
Yeah, because if you update it as a drop, it's I base this. I understand about the idea of how big it would be, but I'm looking at this from more of a numbering perspective. 1.21 can
That's
have
true.
old combat, and then the minute 1.22 brand new combat. To be honest, I thought Chase the Skies would be 1.22 with vibrant visuals, but
Hmm.
here we are. We're going to get to 1.21.1000 at this point. It is actually so confusing. I'm not a fan, but you do an update. I thought 1.21 could have been the perfect time to do a combat update. You've got all this new combat dungeon, but no, wind charges and maces are cool. I appreciate, but for a combat update, I'd like for them to sort of do a little Easter egg and do an end update with a combat update. That would be so cool. Imagine being able to do 1.9 but better and not sluggish and not completely, alienating the majority of the player base with offhand functionality. I just and there's other things as well. 1.9 introduced spectral arrows, and I'm pretty sure Bedrock doesn't even have glowing yet, and
No.
it's sad. It's really sad. I would if it was down to me, I would I'd bring back the combat experiments and I'd do something similar to the villager trade rebalance where you're letting players test out new functions, new systems, and stuff. When you have a more finalized idea of what you want to do, then you start taking things from experimental and you put them into the base game, like with not Chase the Skies, Spring to Life, and the part of the villager trade rebalance. Get people's opinions on it. I feel like if you don't do it that way, you rush it, and you don't want to rush something like this. It's too important. It's too
It's
important.
been worked on for years, though. Like, I don't think, firstly, they would use the combat snapshots as a blueprint. They'd have to. Like, the overwhelming feedback of that era was, wow, this is really good. Add it to the game now.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
the cooldown was so horrible to a lot of people. Um, I would literally be fine if they were like, here's like just the combat snapshots. That's it. because what they do is they rectify 1.9.
They do.
And I don't know, we should have had something in 1.21 that's a major update, not like the 1.21.6457 blue. It would have been the perfect opportunity to, but it's very difficult because it's similar to the end. One mess up and the community, you thought 1.9 was bad in terms of dividing, how people play 1.8 still. This would be terrible. If 10 years later you still can't get it right, what did you that kind of argument would, spring to life, to use a famous drop name.
Yeah.
But it's it's really difficult because you got the whole, what about mobile? How does this work on mobile? What about console? How does this work? And it's
Yeah.
are we really pretending Mojang don't know how to do this already? They know. Like, like we mentioned earlier, Jeff didn't work on the Pale Gardens. Other than the movie, what else did you think he worked on?
he spent
that's
the last 3 years on the set in New Zealand.
Yeah,
from what I read, he was there for 6 months, but it was around that time. It was
yeah.
so I don't know what he was working on.
I'm really sorry to interject. I've just seen on Twitter, apparently there are some new leaks about the next drop going around. I'll just put it out there.
What?
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Okay, do we want to say them?
No.
More?
Haristic, who Harry has just tweeted out. It's to do with water. That's all I'll say. But
underwater caves.
I don't know. He tweeted out saying how to stay humble when you're always right about everything, and I quoted it saying what's happened, and he said, "You like leaks, buddy pal?" I'm gonna say, I don't know. I don't know if we want to talk. It's not for today,
What are
obviously,
they?
because I know about time and stuff, but I'll let you guys be the judge if you want to see that.
I'm definitely looking into that after this.
Yeah, big time.
Yeah, same. I don't care if I hear them. Go ahead. What are they, Jack?
Oh no, I haven't got them. I don't want to be spoiled.
Knowing Heuristic, he likes to keep things vague, and he's probably holding on to that for a little bit to milk it.
Bro, of course he is, man. This guy says, Dungeons 2 out tomorrow every other day.
Yeah.
Come on, bro.
Yeah, I
Come
saw
on.
that.
Blood is delusional. Blood thought it was being announced at the Xbox showcase. You know nothing, Harry, right? You know nothing.
He doesn't. He doesn't. I'm sorry, Harry. You just don't. You don't. Please stop. Please just go back to.
Is he in that Discord server or something with that John guy?
I think so. Everyone, everyone and their mothers. I haven't seen anything about this. I'm on the Discord server. I feel like everyone around me is. I feel so left out.
I don't even know when.
I
always
think
getting leaks around this time.
It's John, isn't it? It's this John guy who predicted fireflies and the pigs and part of the horse update.
Yeah, I think I reported on him in a Realm News Flash. He was the one that did that Discord tweet or post or whatever with the emojis, right?
Yeah.
I feel like it's probably a Mojang employee that's just doing it with their permission. I mean, I feel like other companies have done this before too. I mean, where you say I have this crazy leak and to just try to drum up attention for it. And obviously these aren't as mainstream, but eventually big YouTubers do cover this. So it's and then that does gain traction, that gets more people interested, and maybe that gets them back playing Minecraft again just to see just to check it out, or because they're seeing this stuff and it's interesting them or giving them memories of the good times they used to have. And then boom, they go back on Bedrock and they buy something from the marketplace. And then,
tie it all back to the marketplace. That's funny.
So we're coming up to the end of the show, guys. I want to end it with one question before we say our goodbyes. But what dimension or biome has been the most neglected in the game, and what needs to be added to it in order to bring it up to speed or raise its quality? What's something that you would like to see improved upon in the future? Who would like to start? The beach? Why is that, Michael?
Bro, has one thing, turtles. That's it. Yeah. I mean, it looks cool, but firstly, you had an image about in the Copper Age with the beach and stuff like that, and we still don't know what that means, by the way. with the whole like metal detecting thing.
Sorry, I know what this was. It was meant to be a hint for the copper chest. I know it was a bad
so
leak.
vague.
It
That's
was
so
so
vague.
vague. I know. It's like you find chests in the ground, but he's got a metal detector, so it's a metal chest. That was what it was. Like
I challenge you to open up preview or snapshots or whatever, find treasure chests, and tell me if it's copper. If it's not
I
copper chest,
know,
it's a
I know,
generic chest.
I know.
Okay,
They're trying their best. They're trying their best, man.
we've been rage baited, but no, like
we actually
I don't know
have. It's poor.
like I feel like you could have if this update, if this next drop is to do with the ocean, you could do like I don't know, washed up like junk, I guess, or like I don't know, like seashells, like starfish just like washed up on the beach.
Washed up junk. I didn't know Iscal was in the game, but I'm sorry, I'm done.
No, that'd be interesting. Some washed up stuff. No, I like your idea of like improving the beaches. I wouldn't have ever thought about that, Michael. What do you guys? What do you think next? What would you like to see improved upon?
Not just the end.
Yeah, not just the end, like a biome, I guess.
Let's see.
The end biome.
Yeah,
end
I guess
biomes.
you could say the end. Yeah,
the outer ends.
Yeah.
Now, realistically though, I mean, I'm kind of fond of the idea of the potential, like, deep ocean biome. I think that could be sweet. But I think more so, we need, I think we need, like, a new forest biome would be sweet. Like, if we could have an autumn biome, like, please.
People have been saying they want that.
I've been wanting one. I don't even know how long. But I definitely thought Spring to Life was going to add something like that. But I was wrong. But that and then a new cave biome, I think, is kind of needed.
It looks like DL Seller wants more dark oak forest stuff.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah, that's a good point actually.
Yeah, big time.
Yeah, forest stuff would be. I'm into that as well, honestly.
I'm not.
And
I'm not.
You're not, Michael?
Bro, we have 9,999 forest biomes. It's so easy for them to be like, okay, Agnes, I want you to go into the code, make the wood blue, give the leaves like an orange texture, boom, new tree. Like it's just like the autumn forest would be great. It would be. I want an autumn forest, and the fact that it didn't come to Springs of Life is an absolute tragedy. Welcome to my pain. But like I feel like you mentioned cave biomes. They could do like extremely good things with cave, like a new cave biome.
They could do whatever they want.
They showed us that little
Yeah.
blueberry, right, in the cave. That messed
yeah.
up glowberry.
I mean, that could actually mean something. They could be lying to us again, but
Could be.
Okay,
well, I can see that. Go ahead, Jack.
I was going to say, side note, Harry has posted the alleged leak. I will let you guys have a look if you want. It's up to you.
Bro.
Go ahead and say it.
No. I don't want to get spoiled. I'm saving myself for Minecraft Live. You guys go ahead. You can have a look. You can say it if you want. I'm sure.
Zach, we can't view it.
That's so
we have
weird.
to give our age.
What?
We're in the UK. We can't.
Oh my god! No, we can't.
We can't see it.
No,
bro, come on.
Wait,
no.
We can't
the UK Safety Act.
Bro, someone from the US, please.
No, it literally said right. You guys, you American Donnies, you won't be able to see this yet. It says age-restricted adult content. Harry, stop. He's posted.
Bro, I'm not giving my face to Elon. What is this? Like, this leak is going to be fake anyway. All I see is just...
Yeah, it's probably just going to be a joke, isn't it?
I can tell you what it is if you guys want.
It's God punishing you guys for being European.
Hey, it's hard enough.
You don't need it. Thanks, yeah.
You go on. Say the leak. I want to know.
Yeah, what is it?
It was just about the Nautilus like mob or something, like the shell being a mob.
Oh.
Okay, fair enough. I assume that.
So more ocean tie-ins, pretty much.
Just feels like it's been too long of a time. It's made no sense for the longest time. Like maybe like if they're an extinct species, but then again, it's like I feel like we should be seeing them on the ocean floor. Then just like I don't even know. I feel like that'd be.
Well, my thing is I can't remember if it was gas powered pick or if it was K&B, but there's like this underwater like water cave ravine biome in dungeons, and they have like glowing like vegetation. Like if there was a super dark, super deep ocean biome, and there was glowing vegetation, and yeah, here and there some glow squids and a new mob, I think that would be sweet. But again, it would probably be one of the bigger like drops of what we gotten so far if they took the oceans deeper. Like that would be huge, like complexity wise. But
Yeah.
it's also kind of like tone deaf at the same time, where it's like we're longing for it, we're fiending for combat and offhand, and obviously end, and then they're just like aquatic update part 2.
I feel like there's stuff though, like that's even like less. Sorry, not to cut you off, Jack.
No, you're fine. You're
but
fine.
there's biomes that are even less touched, like sand, or the desert biomes. I mean, they got the camel, but outside of that, and like obviously the trail runes and stuff like that, and like the archaeology stuff. There's not too much going on in the desert, and even more so in the Badlands. It's like the Badlands is such an interesting biome, but it's just lacking everything. One thing that's interesting there that they really should be building off of is those mines that are everywhere. I mean, you see them on the surface; they generate a lot more than any other biomes, and it's like there's a lot more gold there. I feel like it'd be cool to see like abandoned mining towns. Like I wouldn't want them to be populated with any villages or anything. Like maybe just like zombie villagers or just normal zombies. Just like how we see zombie villages like all across the overworlds, but just make them different, make them look more like Western a bit.
Yeah.
I think that'd be pretty cool. And also like adding stuff like flowering cacti. Actually, wait, did that get added already? I don't play the newer.
We have yeah.
We've been here.
Okay, but like the thing with the Badlands and desert is we have like the biome votes. If they added the biome votes tomorrow, does that rectify? Like, does that save the desert and Badlands and like even Savannah, or do they still need to go further? Because I feel like they do. I feel like it wasn't enough.
Guys, we're going to have to speculate this on another episode, unfortunately.
No.
We're coming to the last couple minutes here.
Okay, well, before the event ends, I want to mention we need the offhand, okay? We need the offhand. Please join us in the implementation of the offhand. Please, I'm begging you. I have just been yelling at the clouds for 500 days. I need all your support.
We want 1,000, buddy boy. The offhand ain't coming. Join us on Java.
It is. We're not getting an ocean update. It's not happening. They're not doing it. They wouldn't do that to us. Surely. They wouldn't give us a second.
I believe in brother Harry. It's happening. Nautilus time.
It's not happening. It's not happening.
I just want to wrap up what I have for questions today for our first biannual Realm News Roundtable. These will be happening before every Minecraft live event, or that's what I would like to do with you guys. I'd like to personally thank each and every one of you for coming back onto the show and providing so much insight to me and the audience. This was truly a first, and I hope to have you all back again for the next Realm News Roundtable, which I'm guessing will be in spring or sometime probably next year when they do this. But MichaelTBH, King Next, Nightstake, Jack, thank you all again. I want to go around and let you all have one last word before we conclude the roundtable. Michael, go ahead.
Offhand, no, I'm just saying. I want to thank you for inviting me on. I know it was a bit late. It happens, but I want to
thank you for coming.
I want to thank everyone for listening as well. I didn't mention your offhand that much today. So normally when I'm on Realm News, like it's like the entire thing. But because Jack is talking about other stuff, I can't talk about it. Which is, I feel like that was the ploy, against me. Like I get it. Greg. You've got the other 3 on to talk about something else. But I still slid it in there. No, but I want to thank you guys as well for talking. It's really awesome to hear like other people's opinions and know that I'm not alone.
No, it was really great to have you guys on. I mean, I've been listening to you guys' episodes, and it's really great to finally get to talk to you. And I'm hoping that we can do this again in the spring.
Yeah,
I'm looking forward to
it. Live?
Yeah, I can't wait.
Spring to life? Question mark?
Yes, spring. Yeah, let's do this again, guys. I thank you so much for coming back onto the show. You guys always bring so much insight. It's awesome, honestly. I'm excited to do this again with you. And until then, happy crafting, guys.
End update win.
No, offhand's first.
What's that?
Offhand.
Come to Java.
And let's do offhand.
You'll get your end update when I get my. offhand. Okay?
Update, please.
Follow Realm
Oh,
News.
No.
Follow Realm News. Yes, go to Realm
Thanks for
News. Go to
tuning in, y'all.
patreon.com/Realm News and follow me there at X. And you can find all these fellows' links in the show description, and go follow them. They're amazing. They produce some amazing content, guys. With that said, thank you for all joining me. We'll see you next time. The Dark Lord signing out. See you guys. Hey, Realm News fans, it's your host, the Dark Lord, the one who puts the real in Realm and expands your mind one block at a time. I am here to tell you that your support means everything. Spread the word by telling friends, liking, and commenting on Spotify or Good Pods. Find me on X, Blue Sky, Reddit, or via email at bio.link/Realm News. For more content, join my Patreon at the Copper, Diamond, and VIP tiers for early episodes, bonus content, and newsletters. Find out more at bio.link/Realm News. No pressure, though. Just keep listening, liking, and sharing. That's more than enough. Happy crafting, and see you at the next Realm News.